Hey guys, what is going on? Seski here today we will be going over my Liberator build as of February 4th, 2026. Um Usually in secret dungeons it does pretty well, as you can see, 3rd, 8th. Um I could I could improve on this time. Like I think the fastest I've had this one is like 8 seconds or something like that. Uh I just need to use like food and whatever. This build will also get you through Nightmare Hall of Illusions, and I've used it a little bit in the Tower of Greed, but I've mostly used my Invocator for this. But from what I have used, I think I used it on the first like 3 floors because I just forgot to swap my class back, and I just didn't feel like doing it. So I used it for the first 3 floors of the Twilight stage, which is basically like around the end. But I will take you guys into the build now. If you guys see in my Invocator build, you won't have to look at any of this or the staff. You can kind of skip all of that. It's the exact same. But if you haven't, um, I use a Calanthea staff, Digons inside of it. I need to get Artis. I know I'm a little behind on that. I still use Arc of Lunar Radiance. My Invocator build wasn't built for a like min max Liberator DPS. It was just kind of built around at the time uh high DPS but a little bit of like self-sustain and even like covering for the healer if the healer dies, which you'll see a little bit of that later. Um for gear I went 4-piece Blood Hunter. I went the Calanthea's Touch Gloves with Perception, Range, Heavy Attack. You guys can look at the traits. I went the Hellfire Cloak. I will hover over these really quick so you guys can get whatever you need trait wise figured out off of these. A lot of like my gear pieces, you'll see melee endurance as my trait resonance, and that's because if I go here, my my melee endurance was negative at one point. So I put a lot into that, and honestly, I should have put more into ranged. But I can fix that later. Um, Color of the New Moon for the necklace, Endless Breeze bracelet, Ring of Recursive Nightmares. I got the Eternal Promise ring with Perception, Heavy Attack Chance, bonus damage. Um, Earrings of Sanctified Prayer, and Belt of the Sun King, which, again, if you've seen my Invocator build, I talked about how I want to swap it out for this, the Belt of Twisting Fate. I'm just kind of working on getting the traits. Not a big deal. Honestly, could probably do it right now, but I'll look at that later. Um, this build is high boss damage and has a lot of AoE damage as well. Um, Basically, I just use Zephyr's Knock, Strafing, Nature's Blessing, and Healing Touch. So these were kind of like my own cleanse, or like I could use on like a teammate, like if our tank needs to be cleansed and our healer can't at the moment, or just isn't paying attention because sometimes that happens. Healing Touch just basically to keep myself alive, or if I need to. I've saved my tank a couple times stacking this on him. We got High Focus, Deadly Marker, again, a little bit of like a supporty kind of, also helps in like solo boss fights. We got Hellfire Rain, Fireball Barrage, Chain Lightning, Focus Fire Bombs, Judgment Lightning, um, Blitz. So basically, the way that I go through this when I start is I typically start with Nature's Blessing, like say if I'm in like a boss fight or something, and it's just like me, the boss, like Hall of Illusions type thing. I would start with Nature's Blessing. That way, I immediately get all the buffs from this because we're about to just mana drain. Um, I immediately go into this because it gives me a little bit of like health regen, and then I go usually high focus, deadly marker, and then I go into Hellfire Rain, Blitz, Hellfire Rain, and then I'll just kind of like hit whatever else after. Like it doesn't really matter. Like these ones come back really quick. Like the two lightning ones come back really quick. Obviously this takes a second because you gotta charge it. I mean, you can just send it without, but it does way more damage if you just charge it. Um, and we'll go to passive skills. We've got rapid fire stance, sniper sense, as asceticism. I probably said that wrong. Mana amp, flame condensation, forbidden sanctuary, mana ball eruption, and Roxy's arrowhead. Skill specialization. I'll let you guys take a look at this. I don't really think I need to explain it. You guys can just kind of look for yourselves if you guys decide you want to try this build. Typically, I can get off 2 or 3 strafings and 2 to 3 judgment lightnings before they have to like be reset and go on cooldown. I don't know why that keeps popping up. I'm so far from that book. Artifact. I'm running a 6-piece Chaos Harbinger. It's just good. It does a lot of extra crit hit and crit damage, and the this for 10 seconds on each attack hit, magic, melee, and range crit hit increases by 100, stacks up to 10 times, and is removed upon successful crit hit. So basically, it's just extra crit chance. Sometimes it helps. Bro. We're going to go into the rune book. I basically have magic crit hit, mana cost, and max mana on both weapons, running dex and attack speed. The necklace is boss heavy attack, healing, and max mana. The healing is again mostly just for the little bit of self heal, or if I have to use it on like a tank or whatever. I do understand I could swap that out for like Amatoy healing or healing received or something like that, but it just doesn't feel as effective. And maybe skill heal over time. I haven't really looked into like what the difference is with some of the new stuff. But then I got max health and wisdom. The neck or bracelet, we got boss heavy attack, mana cost, max mana, bonus damage, max health. Both my rings are the exact same, so they're again healing, max mana, magic heavy attack chance, cooldown speed and perception. The earrings are stun resistance, max mana, boss heavy attack. The stun resistance is only because when I do use this build in PvP, I fight a lot of gladiators that like to stun. So having a little bit of extra stun resistance is just nice. But then we got crit hit and hit chance on this. The belt, we got boss magic heavy attack, mana cost efficiency, max mana, and damage reduction and max health. Which, if you want, I did damage reduction instead of boss damage reduction. You could do that too, or you could even do like one of the movement speed ones. I find you're already relatively quick, so I don't like. I don't know about most people at this point, but like my morphs are pretty close to being like maxed out. So I'm not too worried about that. Um we can go into the weapon mastery, so I can show you this. If you looked at my Invocator build, it is a little bit different. As I stated in the Invocator build, I have increased max health instead of burn chance. I think the rest of it might be the same. And then the longbow instead of the wand, obviously. But you can see where we went with that. A lot of damage and a lot of support. And then I went... So this build is a little bit more focused on damage. As my Invocator, I still use Deadly Viper. This, I felt Destruction Spear was doing a little bit more damage on this build, and it was a little bit more effective. Then obviously I went Potential, then Dragon Ascent, and Falling Flower, because comboing these two is just insane. You just deal more damage for the first 40% of your mana, and then for every 10% that you go through, you deal more damage. So it's just basically like, if you start the fight at full mana, you're going to just blow things up like at the start, and then your damage is going to fall off after. And like, that's okay. Like, it'll regen, you know, again, and you'll get it. And like, at this point in the game, I don't think mana regen's an issue for most people. I could be wrong. Like, my mana does typically drop down to about like 30 or 40%. But you also have to consider that I'm using Dragon Ascent, and the first 6 or the first 40% is kind of just gone in the first couple seconds of a fight. But anyways, that is my Invocator build. I hope you guys all liked anything you saw, or maybe something was different, or whatever. If you do want to try it, maybe you don't want to watch the whole video and go through the whole video, I will be posting my quest log in the description. That will have this build in it, and the Invocator video will also have the Invocator build. Now I know the Invocator video also had basically what I swap out for PvP, but to be honest, the Liberator build, there's nothing that I really swap out. I guess if you wanted to, you could do like Ensnaring Arrow for Blitz, or for Hellfire Rain or something, just to have that, like, you know, ensnare. My guild, I think, was trying to get me to use Flash Arrow or Arrow Vortex or something when we were doing like Castle Siege or something. They had like a whole plan for it, but my work schedule kind of got in the way of that, so I haven't been able to do that too much. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to check out the Invocator build, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you later.